So, confession time. These were my dahlias. Hello everyone and welcome back to my allotment. It is December. It is actually the 31st of December. So the very last day of 2020, which I'm sure I'm not the only person that's extremely glad about that. I've popped up to the allotment to do pretty much just a very quick tour because, especially now that I've got here, you can see there's a very, very hard frost on absolutely everything and the ground is frozen and there's not much that I could really do here. Even if I wanted to, which is debatable at the moment. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing at least 4 layers. I've got 2 t-shirts, a long-sleeved fleece, a short-sleeved fleece, a hat, a scarf, neoprene-lined wellies, absolutely everything. So yes, I've popped up mostly to do a quick tour, to get a few ideas for things I can do next year, kind of appraise what needs tidying still and what's alright. I might have a go at doing 1 or 2 quick tidying up jobs. I still need to move the composts to just behind me here, and I could probably, clear away some of the old material, and I've brought some things to feed the birds with, including the fat balls that I made earlier in the month. I mean, that's December really, isn't it? There's not a huge amount that can be done. There's not a huge amount of things actually growing that I can show you, but this is the reality of allotment life, and here we are. So on that note, I think what I'm going to do is take you around quickly and show you what there is in the ground, which is pretty much just the allium bed, and then refill the bird feeder and see what jobs we can do. So let's get started. So job number 1, and my favourite thing to do I think, is to refill the bird feeder. So I've got one of these fat blocks here that I bought really cheaply from Wiltshire, and that just pops into the feeder that looks like that. And I've got the fat balls that I made, which I'm thinking I might put into the dish rather than into here, because I've got fat balls that can go in that one. So these are the ones that I made, and I'm super happy with how they turned out. They're really, really cute. I'm going to pop a couple of those into the tray and see how they get on with them. The ones that I usually put into here disappear basically overnight, so I'm hoping that they're going to go down well, but we'll see. I've got some of these that I bought, which I'll pop into the fat ball feeder. I'm sorry about the fact that I have to keep bending down. I don't have any kind of table, and that's one of the things that I think is absolutely top on my list of things that I'd like to get for the allotment, is maybe a little picnic bench that I can put just here in front of me, so I don't have to keep doing this kind of effect, because I'm sure that's very annoying. And I'm going to do that now just to fill up the peanut feeder, so be right back. There we go, and we'll ignore all the ones that I managed to get all over the floor. And it looks like that's not going down, so I won't refill that. Sadly, the water has frozen, and it's frozen quite badly, and I don't think there's anything I can do about that, which is a real shame because the pond is also frozen. So I'm not sure where my little birdie friends are going to be getting any drinks, but there we are, refilled bird feeder. I love to do this job first because I'm going to go and potter down the other end now, and I think, within minutes of me doing that, I'm going to get some visitors, which always makes me so happy to see that. So there we go. Favourite winter job done. I've just grabbed the camera and popped down to the allium plot, which is pretty much the only area that's got anything in it at the moment. Now, this was the board that I stood on to plant my onions last month, and this area here to its right is where the onions are. I don't know about you, but I can't see very many onions. I can see one little guy, which I'll take you down to. There he is, champion of the onions, but largely everything else here is a frozen wasteland. I can pop over to the other side, so if I balance very carefully along this board and come over to here, this section is a bit more successful. This strip at the end has shallots and nothing's happening there, but the garlic, I don't know if you can make out the rows very easily, but these are the markers here at the back. I've yet to put the slate labels on there, which is why the packaging is slotted over the hook like that, but starting here and coming all the way along, you should be able to see rows and rows and rows of little garlic shoots, and finishing with the elephant garlic at the end there. So that's pretty encouraging. I will zoom down now and show you one. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I've planted 4 different sorts, and I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. I think it's rose white, colk white, and something else, Kingsland white maybe, and elephant garlic on the end. Because basically I can't get enough garlic. And that's really the only thing I've got growing in the ground right now. I've failed pretty much on overwintering any veg. Usually I'd have at least some chard. Well, that's my chard there. And everything else I never really got around to coming down to tidy. So I've got a bit of a frozen wasteland to tackle. But looking at it now, it's obvious that I can't do it now. And as I said, we've had so much rain this month that I haven't really been able to come up either. I mean, I'm pretty happy now that standing on this is actually frozen. So that's a good thing, because normally at this time of year you would not want to be standing on waterlogged soil. It will just compact it and spoil it. So there's an overview of the plot. I think it looks rather beautiful with all the frost. So, confession time. These were my dahlias. I usually, like the first year that I grew dahlias, I was super on it. I was so keen. I dug them all up and I put them in like perfect 3-litre pots in my greenhouse for the requisite number of months. And then I diligently put them all back in the ground the following spring. And then the subsequent year, I ended up leaving them in the ground thinking, you know, that'll be fine, they'll be okay. We have mild winters now. And I covered them over and they all grew back the following year and it was fine. This year, I haven't even chopped them down. Oh yeah, there's plenty more dead dahlia stems. And I'm thinking that's something that I will do today, just take the clippers and just go around and remove some of the dead material and see if I can pop something over them to make sure that they do survive, because at this rate I'm not sure that they will. So there we are, Dahlia confession for you. I actually think they probably will be fine. It's probably today the coldest day that we've had. It's been largely wet all winter rather than chilly, and I just saw Robin go by, hoping that he pops over to my bird feeder. So yes, I'm gonna pop round and tidy all of the mess I should have tidied months ago. So I've just spent about an hour doing a good bit of tidying up. I removed all the old Dahlia material, and then I spent some time starting to do the same thing for my runner bean frames. As you can see, there's still a little bit left, and there's quite a lot of stuff just out of shot that you can't see. But I've spent a good bit of time having a nice, like a bit of a potter, I guess, and a bit of a tidy, and it's felt really good. I'm really glad to have been able to come up here, even if it is a little bit chilly, and just do a little bit of work. And I'm looking forward to coming back again soon. In terms of the plot tour, though, I think that's probably all I've got for you. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I see you again soon in January for my next plot tour. And yeah, Happy New Year. Bye. In winter, I usually tend to bring a flask of coffee with me, and I swear no other coffee ever tastes this good. I think you can see the steam rising off that. Yeah, cheers, this makes me happy.